So, I joined up with Soccer Aid last night, and Nemanja is the enemy tonight at Old Trafford because he plays for the rest of the world and I play for England, and I've not prepared best, shall we say, for this game. I had a few drinks last night with my colleagues. I can't tell you, this is not going to be easy, this. Are these Serbian delights?
So there's some Serbian sweets.
Which are Serbian sweets?
You tell me, Gary, what do they look like?
Well, I mean, these Percy Pigs aren't, obviously, are they? Unless Percy Pig was born in Serbia.
I just got them because you like them.
Yeah, I get that, Kieran, but which are the Serbian sweets? These aren't sweets, are they? I mean, these sweets? Serbian sweets? Is that Serbian...
That's an Eccles cake, mate.
There's a Manchester tarts in there.
I've got till 7:30 tonight, Anna, to get right for this game. That's the key. Replace your salts.
On your hearts, guys.
Sleep about 1:30 till 3. And before you know it, I'll be beating Vidic in the air on corners. I hope this is Ellen and not Nemanja. The last thing I wanted was Nemanja to walk through before Ellen.
And I bought you 3 drinks.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Look at this. Is this a Serbian bacon butty? He's going to walk in and go, what the hell is this, isn't it? Vidic, why are you looking at me like you want to kill me?
Talking. Please, guys, shut up. Against Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's the game that I hate playing. I said I want to play for United, but I didn't say for how much money.
What was he like when he arrived?
He was a bit like a rabbit in headlights, really. Him and overcame in 2006. It took a bit for him to get. I mean, I didn't see him straight away as being a sort of how good he was. Is this Serbian chocolate? I take it.
Yep.
Let's have a see what they get up to over there then. Let's see what their crack is. Very good. Here we are. Come on, Nemanja.
Away the microphone.
Why have you not got the Soccer Aid gear on? You look smart, by the way.
I just came from Holland.
Oh, I drank last night, Vida.
Yeah, I did a bit as well. Just normal.
You drank?
No, a bit, but not much.
I drank a lot.
Yeah.
With Shazy and Carrick.
Oh.
Why are you not coming in?
I don't know.
He can come in, can't he?
Yeah?
He can come in, yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
Not bad.
Great to
Yourself?
see you. Yeah, very good. We've got some Serbian delights for you. You have to sit here.
Pita is there, okay.
Was it?
That's familiar. This is
What's it called?
Pita.
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 When do you eat that?
Depends, what kind of diet you have, obviously. Now, like you can see, I'm not eating much of that, but normally...
You've always been, really strict with your diet, haven't you? Always. You've always been really good in terms of sort of your professionalism. I always remember when you played.
Yeah, I tried, and I'm still trying, but I think that was important, especially when I was playing. Sometimes, if you remember...
You're looking at me. You're looking at me now, aren't you?
No.
You are. I can see you looking me up and down.
What are you doing, guys, now? Everything.
No, I just do I do the football, and then I do...
Are you doing the overlap with the guys as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, with Roy and with Ian and Cara and Jill.
But you're doing the property as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I do property. The W Hotel. W Hotel, you see them in America.
Yeah.
I'm building that one in Manchester. That'll be ready in 2 years. I'll show you. So that building at the front is finished. That's an office. That's 10 floors of office. This is all fully let. How big are your projects?
No, it's not more than, to be fair,
5,
the
10?
one which I invest was 4.5 million.
So what are you building, apartments?
Apartments, yeah.
How many? With that money?
76 apartments I built. So.
What, 1 bed and 2 bed?
Yeah.
I've only ever been to Belgrade once, obviously the football. But is it a beautiful place?
A lot of constructions in the last 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's a good place now to come.
Good place, yeah.
So if you have opportunity, I think it's good.
Do you have a property on the river?
No. I have no on a river, but it's on a hill.
Castle.
It's okay.
It's a castle there.
No, that's yours, but...
It's a castle
okay,
overlooking my people, overlooking people there.
No, you're good. I'm happy there.
Good. Did you think that when you finish your career that you would go into business, or did you think you would stay in football?
Not at all.
You didn't think you were going to business?
When I was playing for United, I finished my badges for coaching, to coach.
You did your B licence and A licence?
A and B license I finished as a player of Man United, and then when I retired, I finished the pro license in the English FA, and I was thinking,
wow.
yeah, this is the way I want to go.
So you spent like years doing that then?
Yes, and then I had few opportunities, but at the time I was living in Milan, and I decided that I don't want to move from there because of the kids and family. By the time passing by, obviously, you know, I'm more outside of the football and less opportunities, and as well, I'm comfortable in the way I'm living now and what I'm doing. So,
You think the moment's gone?
I don't know. My kids now, they're 18, 16, and nearly 14. So maybe in 2-3 years' time, maybe I will involve more into football.
Yeah.
And of course, that's idea as well. But at the moment, I'm happy what I'm doing, and things are actually happening in my life. So at the moment, I'm okay.
You don't miss it now?
If I look at the football now in this moment, you know, it's very stressful. You know, it's not easy to be the coach. I think we all playing for Man United, see Sir Alex Ferguson, we thought, you know, this is easy, you know, everyone can do it. And we see a lot of Man United players that because of the Sir Alex, they wanted to start to be the managers and coaches, and some of them they have success, some of them they find is very difficult, like yourself. So yeah.
Thank you. You mentioned there about players that have played under Sir Alex Ferguson, and it's been difficult sometimes for some of them to be coaches. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that pattern has emerged?
I think the power of the football players. I think they have too much power, and because of the money involved, I think the owners as well, they respect more opinion of agents and players than actually of the managers. And I think that's the issue we have now. I don't think now if you have strong character and if you have personality and if you have a conflict with the players, I think you will be the one leaving the club.
Yeah.
So I think this is the era of the new generation of the manager who should be careful how to talk to the players, you know, in one way to be psychologist. You know, you cannot treat all players the same, but as well you have to treat the owners, you have to treat the fans, you have to be fair, Sir Alex Ferguson was doing great at these things, but I think now it's even more difficult than that time.
Take me back to the beginning of your life in Serbia and how that was in terms of sort of, how would it be different than a life obviously that I had growing up in England?
Since I know myself, I love football. I was playing in front of my building with the friends, and that's how I was introduced to the football. And then obviously my dad took me to the football academy, and my football career obviously started from there. It was a great life, obviously. At the time, I would say the peaceful until the 91. So actually that was until my 10 years. So then after we have some issues, but not in my neighborhood. Obviously Serbia, Yugoslavia, there was a lot of problem around, but I didn't felt it in my town, and in Serbia we didn't felt it. It was more in Bosnia, Croatia, and this part of the world. But other than that, we have a great life. Football and sport is something that all young generations in Serbia, they're starting to play, and it's in our DNA. We have been great at basketball, football, volleyball, all sports, and that's the same as any other country.
Who is your hero?
I think that players were Sal Belgrade. There was a few players, Prosinečki, Savicevic, Jugovic.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic player. But I always looked attackers and midfield players. I was never really
We all
impressed.
did, didn't we? We always ended up going back.
To be fair, I tried to play.
What position were you when you were young?
I started as a right winger.
Right wing?
Yeah. That's
How did that go?
My career. Yeah, probably not that good because I moved back. I started to play fullback and then centre back. I played fullback because I was the youngest in the team, and I think the coaches always like to give the young players and obviously players that not developed physically that much to play the fullback, because I think the centre back is very, very difficult position, a very responsible position. Same as a goalkeeper. I think the fullback, you know, if you make sometimes mistake, guys, I will be there to help you, you know, to fix that, the problems you made.
I know. Thank you, Rio. Thank you. Rio was on my
Yeah,
side.
I know. I played a few times with you.
You did a few times.
I hate playing with guys. Seriously. Because you are never in a second post. He didn't like to be in a second post.
Me?
Yeah, you. That was like, I hate. Seriously.
What do you mean to head it away?
Yeah, because you say, no, you deal with that. You are big enough, you can deal with that.
Were you a centre back?
Yeah,
You just called us small and said that we don't take responsibility.
Yeah, I know, because sometimes when you go playing against the teams, for example, Stoke or other players, that's the second post they always attack, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obviously there was the crouch. And sometimes we defenders, we like, to be the narrow, especially center defenders. We ask always fullbacks to get narrow, but Gaz was always used to go forward, He will be very good going forward, as well sprinting back until the 16 yards of the box. And then 16 yards of the box, he will say, deal with that.
This is a new development in my career. I thought I was actually okay at the back post. No, but something you say that there, I actually remember, because I used to speak a lot, and I don't think you used to like someone speaking as much.
No, especially in the mornings.
Guys, fucking quiet. I always remember you, but Rio was the exact opposite. Rio used to say, don't go quiet on me.
Obviously, you would talk a lot all the time. And especially, I remember in the mornings, Gaz will come early in the morning, and he was sitting 2 seats next to me.
Yeah, Vidic was
On the
sitting
right
there.
side, yeah.
Scholes was here, Vidic was there.
Yeah.
Ollie.
And I didn't realize why he's talking all the time when I come in the morning, because I didn't like training in the morning.
No,
I hate it.
He used to look at me like, Vidic, why are you looking at me like you want to kill me?
No, but I realized he's sleeping at 8 o'clock. He wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and he's alone until 9 o'clock. And he comes to the dressing room and he's like talking. And I was saying, please, Gaz, shut up.
It's true, every day.
True, yeah.
And you had that look on your face and he was like, yeah, you weren't very happy.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I'm just saying that in the beginning, coming to England and training in the mornings was really difficult for me.
So when did you train with Moscow at Sparta?
More afternoon.
You train in the afternoon?
Yeah, because of the traffics and, to arrive to the training ground takes 1.5 hours in the morning. So they pick the timings that they are actually 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, so maybe 5 o'clock. It depends on the games, So
you wouldn't train in the morning at all?
No, in the mornings, no.
So you weren't used to playing games in the morning either at 12 o'clock?
You remember me walking 9 o'clock in the morning? I would have a walk on 1.5 hours to wake up. I didn't have a concentration playing 12:30 games 1 o'clock against Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's the game I hate playing.
Do you think that's why? Because you had a couple of difficult games against Liverpool, didn't you? Do you think it's because of the early kickoff?
Yeah, because all of them we play like 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yeah, it's true.
And I find it difficult to concentrate, and my energy is different in the morning.
You're probably the most, I think, aggressive centre-back that I've seen at United. You and Steve Bruce in terms of heading the ball and sort of... When did that come into your game when you were young? When did you start to become someone who really would sort of go and head the ball dominantly?
I was lucky in the early days of my career. As a kid, I always played with older players. So I have to be strong, I have to take the tackles, and obviously physically they are
So they were bigger?
Dominant.
Yeah.
And I have to give every challenge 100%. And I enjoy defending, to be fair, since my early days. And that's why probably it doesn't matter what I do, even if I headed the ball, if I'm sliding, tackling, or the intercepting, that's my game. And the generation of defenders, I would say Serbian football they teach that first what you have to do is to defend. But yeah, I think that's come from early age.
Who taught you how to defend? Who was the biggest influence on your career defensively?
To be fair, I'm not fastest. I'm not slow, but I'm not fastest player in the world. And I understand that my game has to be putting myself in a good position. And sometimes I will run more to put myself in good position than actually making the sprints. I always try to don't put myself to make the sprint. If I make the sprint with someone, that means that I'm not in good position. Yeah. So that was my idea as a football player. Obviously, my timing was good. I was good in the air jumping wise. I mean, I can jump, but I think my timing was good. If you do the tests in Carrington, you will see that I'm not the highest jumper in the team. There will be the players that will jump more than me, but my timing was good. I was always pick the ball in a good moment. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that was characteristics of my game. positioning, interception, timing, and putting myself in good position.
How did you end up going to Moscow?
Oh, I felt that if I stay one more year in Serbian football, I will not improve.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was already there for 2-3 years. I did everything I can do in that league. And I think that was a good decision going to Russia. Even at that time, people didn't know much about Russian football, but there was a lot of Argentinian players, Brazilian players, and I think me going there helped me after coming to United and succeed as a player. Because if I went early to play in Italian football or English football, I don't think I would be ready.
You think that it was a good bridge for you?
Good bridge, because I play against better players.
Yeah.
You know, I realized, you know, that I have to prove my game. You know, there was some Brazilian players, Argentinian players, strikers that, you know, I had hard games against them, and obviously, you know, you learn from there.
Did you always feel like you wanted to go and play in England? Was England always a dream, or did you think that you just go where
Not
they
really.
actually... No?
Not really. Actually, my dream was to play for the Red Star Belgrade. And that was my dream: score a goal against Partizan and go on with the fans, you know, on on the stand,
Yeah.
and then I come back. You know, that was my dream as a boy, you know. And obviously, when I achieved that, I was 20, I think. Then I didn't have any targets really, because I had a small dream, I would say.
Yeah.
And then obviously I have a break of 1 year, which I was a bit not that much professional. You know, I was enjoying my life. You know.
In what way?
In a way, you know, you're having money, you're going outside, having drinks, you know,
Shame on you.
Yeah, but luckily I was 20 years at the time, so, you know.
What was you drinking then? What would you drink in Serbia back then?
Probably my kids will watch this, and I told them that, you know, this is not nice, you know. And whiskey, you know, that was the...
Whiskey?
Yeah, that was the drink, yeah, it was...
You'd be a menace on whiskey. I imagine you going out at night on whiskey, you'd be dangerous, wouldn't you?
No.
No? Were you
Actually, I'm more relaxed. Actually, I'm more relaxed when I'm drinking. Actually,
Are you? I don't remember you drinking even like a lot when we had the team parties.
Listen, I lived in Moscow as well, and so this is the place. You know, I was as well going out. You know, I was young. I would say 20, 22, 23. So in that time, you know, we all go out. You know, enjoying. Obviously, I picked the times where we go out. And when I came to United, obviously I had the opportunity to play one of the biggest clubs in the world, and you know. I already went out, you know, did what I did when I was young, but I came here and I want to check how good I am. Can I play on this level? And my mentality was, you know, I will do anything I can to prove myself and to everyone around that I'm the player that can play for United and to try to take best of out my career. So that's the reason.
How did that happen? Did Liverpool come in for you, Rafa Benitez?
Yeah, we talked maybe once or twice, but nothing happened for 2-3 weeks. And then
Was this before the January window in 2006?
Yeah. Obviously, David Moyes wanted to bring me as well in Aston Villa. He was the one, but they have issue with the money. So
the money for
he
you,
was the first,
money for you, or the fee?
Not for me, for the fee for the club.
For the club. It was only 6-7 million, though, eh?
Yeah, but it was Aston Villa. For them was
a lot of money.
Yeah. And actually, I had a dinner with David Moyes. He was actually the first one. He came for me.
He came to Moscow, or?
To Moscow, yeah. He was there.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Liverpool and Fergie just called me once and said, "Do you want to come to play for United?" I said yes, and deal was done in 4 days.
What was the first conversation like with him?
That's the only conversation we had on the phone. And then when I met him, obviously when I signed a contract with him and David Gill. And actually the mistake I made at the time, I said I want to play for United, but I didn't say for how much money.
Wasn't a mistake on his part. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, that's why he hung up straight away.
So you said you were going and you'd not sorted out your money.
Yeah.
So did you get less money from United than you did from Liverpool, maybe, or?
No, but listen, for me at the time it was not about the money. For me, it was I want to test myself.
Yeah.
You know? If I want more money, probably it's better for me to stay in Moscow.
You're getting paid more in Moscow than United?
Actually, they offered me. I had double money in Moscow what I had in Manchester when I came. But obviously, then David Gill and Sir Alex Ferguson told me, like, don't worry, this contract is just the beginning. But no, to be fair, they said we start with this, and then if you play like 50 games,
you change it.
It doesn't matter. Is it like 10 minutes, 5 minutes? Then we will change the contract,
Okay.
and you know. And after 20 games, 25 games, I signed the contract straight away. new contract.
When Sir Alex rang you, because obviously if Rafa Benitez has rung you and David O'Leary's come to see you, what made you not say yes to them straight away? Was it because United at the time were...
No, I said to O'Leary,
United
I
were
was happy.
successful.
No, I was happy to go to Aston Villa, but they didn't have a money obviously at the time. That's actually what David O'Leary told me.
And then Liverpool?
And then Liverpool was waiting too long. And Sir Alex Ferguson came and...
Just came in quickly?
Yeah, quickly, and he done the deal in 4 days.
What did you think when you first came to Manchester? Because you didn't play... I look
Cold.
You've been in Moscow,
It's cold in Moscow as well, but what I find difficult here, it's different culture. I was living in Moscow, but we had like 10 or 15 players, Serbian players, they're playing in different clubs in Moscow.
Yeah.
So, I have a good social life.
Yeah.
Obviously coming here, I was by myself, didn't have anyone really to help me in terms of like friend or, some Serbian community. I find that difficult in the beginnings, but after 1 or 2 years, obviously, I used to it and I liked it. So we enjoyed it here, and me and my wife, we had a great time. Obviously, we had 3 kids here, so they're born here in Manchester. But the first 6 months I find difficult, and especially I find difficult on the pitch as well.
Yeah, I look at you only played 11 games from January to the end of the season, and I was looking at sort of the pattern. You didn't play in the Carabao Cup final. You were on the bench with Patrice.
I came on.
He came on as sub.
As a sub, yeah.
So what was happening at that time in terms of your communication with the manager about when you... Because that partnership that you had with Rio hadn't established at that point.
No, at all. Because to be fair, when I came to the training, I don't think I was ready. Definitely I was not ready. Because I think the Russian league finished at end of the November.
Yeah, so you had
and
1 month.
I had a break for one month. And I didn't train at all. And in England, it's middle of the season.
Yeah.
And I said to the gaffer, give me 2 weeks to prepare myself and then give me the game.
Yeah.
And after 2 weeks, I felt I'm not ready yet.
Yeah.
And I was, trying to prolong, say, give me 1 more week. And he gave me 1 more week. And then obviously he gave me the first game after 3 weeks. But, still I felt like, I'm not ready. Yeah.
I remember watching you in training in the early days. If you just said to me, would you become what you did, I would have probably said, I'm not sure. Because you were in the first couple of months.
You and Gixie were saying, who is this guy? Yeah. And Paul as well. It was like...
Well, you were... Yeah, you...
No, I felt a bit, not just from you guys, but even with reserves. Me and Patrice, we went to play the game for reserves. And me and Patrice, we didn't play well. And after 45 minutes, René, take us off. Said, enough, guys. And we said, wow, we cannot even play for the reserves. And then I'm coming tomorrow to the Carrington, and you see the boys, they're playing in the reserves, they're looking at you and saying like, this guy. And then I realized, listen, I cannot be nice no more. And I start training.
When did you feel like, right, okay, I belong, I settle in?
After the first pre-season, because I had a full pre-season with you guys, and then next year I played the whole season. I was the regular player. So Premier League, even if you are fit, you find difficult. Especially at that time, very direct football. The strikers, they're very physical, strong. We had at the time Yakubu, Heskey, Crouch, the big guys, strong guys that didn't really play against in Russian football. They are probably more sharper players, more technical, it's different football.
What was it about United that struck you early? What did you think in that first few months? What was the sort of... Because we weren't successful. That 3 years before, we'd not won the league.
Yeah.
So it was actually the most difficult period that we'd had.
I felt the tension, and the pressure to win the trophy. But to be fair, I was focusing more on myself because at the time I couldn't really help thinking about, team and,
Yeah, because you were settling
to be present, in the dressing room and trying to be the leader. But, I had to first fix my game and do what I can and to be the regular player. But I felt with signing of Michael Carrick, Patrice, myself, I think that came new energy because I think even in the beginning we didn't start well, but in the pre-season we came, we are hungry to prove. Yeah. And we won the trophy straight away.
Welcome back to the main interviews brought to you by Sky Bet. They've been our partner now for the last 4 years and we wouldn't have been able to deliver the overlap without them, and we're going to move back into main interview territory next season, which is, I know you've missed them. The 2006-07 season, the first few months of that season, I think it's the best football that I ever played in at United. So you obviously joined in January, that pre-season. It was Louis and Rooney up front, obviously you and Rio. It was obviously Patrice left back. But it was Giggsy, Ronaldo, Scholes and Carrick. And I always remember playing, I don't know, it was 3 or 4 games. We played at Bolton away. Remember Bolton away, first half? Yeah. I thought it was unbelievable. Yeah. I felt like...
I think physically we are prepared. I felt that going into the game I was fit. You know, I could play 90 minutes without getting tired.
Yeah.
That year and next year as well, I felt that we are physically best prepared for me in my career at United.
Yeah. When you look back at that sort of first title in that season, did you think that you would go on to create one of the great partnerships with Rio? Did you feel like there was a partnership at that time? When did that feel like this is a good partner
for me? When we won the first trophy, Premier League trophy, for me it was relief. And then I knew I was playing for Man United, because even if you play well and don't win with Man United, you're not Man United player. That's how I felt. Even playing for the Red Star Belgrade, because it's the biggest club in my country, you know, if you don't win with the Red Star Belgrade trophy, you're not going to be counted as someone that actually be recognized. You know, after that, I was more confident about my game, about myself, and then obviously me talking to Rio and Rio to me about how we can improve our game, I think was very important. Not just clicking like he has ability and me and we understand each other. No, we talked a lot about it, about certain situations in the game, in the trainings. Yeah. You remember sometimes, you know, we will go to shave in a sauna and we will talk about what you think about this and that, and then we try to understand, you know, each other, you know, what he likes to do and what I like to do in certain situations. Yeah. And after 2 years, we didn't really talk about it no more. You understand, guys, what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
No, because my English, it sounds like...
It's amazing.
It's good, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, of course good. Okay. How different...
Gary's English.
How different was English football to the football you've been used to? What were the main differences?
Very direct. That was the biggest difference. They're playing straight away to the strikers. That was something which in European football, it didn't have that much. You know, they would try to play from the back, you know, in one moment try to play between the lines, but not straight to the defender. So you are always exposed as a defender. You have to take the headers, you have to win your challenges. If you don't win your challenges, your teammates will say, come on, man. And after 6 months, I was working a lot in the gym, you know, looking at what I'm eating, you know, training well, and that helps.
English football, though, was perfect for you, wasn't it? In the way you play. I mean, you were someone who loved defending, you loved aggressive, direct play. You don't think?
I don't know. I think that, because I played well. But I don't think if I played in another country, I would not do well. I think that I play international football, I play for the national team, I played, you know, many games, international games, and I think I did well in those international games as well. So my issue was coming to United, I never played left defender. I always play right defender. And
is that true?
To be fair, I couldn't pass the ball like 5 meters with left foot. No, that was a real issue for me. And then obviously you will not talk to the manager saying, I cannot play left, I will play right.
Who told you to play left then? Who did you work it out between you, or did you just...
No, Gaffer said, you're playing left. I will say, just to play, I don't care. You know, if you're playing, I will be happy at the time. But in general, you know, playing left defender for me was not ideal position for me.
Did you sell him?
No, Rio is playing right. You know, what to tell him? You know, I will play right, go on the bench. At the time, I was happy to play, you know what I mean? So there was Mikel Sylvester playing left and Wes Brown playing left. So Rio was always right. So I have to challenge that position. If I want to challenge Rio, I don't think I will succeed as a player, you know, especially in the beginning of career playing for Man United.
It was me saying that Rio had to stay right so they can cover for me behind because he was quick.
Maybe you told them, I don't want to play with this guy. Give me Rio here.
Not true.
That sounds like truth, huh?
What was your relationship like with the boss? Did the boss ever shout at you? I don't remember him screaming or shouting at you.
with the managers, I never have a close relationship.
Yeah.
You know, if he asks me something, I will tell him, you know,
Yeah.
but I never had that kind of, you know, Rio will sometimes
Yeah, Rio.
talk with Fletch maybe, you know, there are certain players, even, I don't know, Paul,
Yeah.
even if Paul doesn't speak much, but Gaffer will always like to talk to him a bit,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it? Gixie,
Yeah.
yourself?
Maybe. But did he shout at you? I can't remember.
Never, because I think what he realized is not that he didn't shout me because he was scared of anyone, or that's not for sure.
The way you were looking at him, he thought.
No. I think he realized that with certain players, will not help if he's shouting, you know.
Yeah.
And I think he changed that after Ronaldo thing. I think when he spoke to Ronaldo on halftime, you know.
He shouted at Ronaldo.
Shouting, yeah, because he shouted on Ronaldo. You remember that?
Yeah.
So I think Ronaldo didn't take that well.
No.
I think he will pick maybe older players, maybe English players,
Yeah.
British players.
Yeah.
But he was, I think, careful with the foreign player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take me to the Champions League finals, because it's the most successful period that Manchester United have ever had, getting to 3 Champions League finals in 4 seasons. Tell me the one we won that year against Chelsea. I felt like that was going to be the start of a dominant period, because it looked like the team was perfect to go on and continue to be successful.
I think that since the first title we won, I think we are always competing for all trophies.
Yeah.
So I think we always looked like we can win, you know. We actually at that final especially, we had great team. We had a big squad. Ronaldo at the time was fantastic.
Incredible.
I felt that definitely that will be our year. But on that final, I didn't train for 2 weeks before the final. I don't know, do you know about that?
No. What
I didn't train. I had injury. I had my, obviously, back injury through all my career.
Yeah.
And normally when I have that issue, I have nerve going to my calf and then I can run. So for 2 weeks I didn't train. Last training before Chelsea, and I felt like, no chance, I cannot really play. And then Gaffer coming to me and ask, Vida, how you feel? And I start to explain him, I'm not feeling well, you know, I'm feeling a bit. He said, you're playing tomorrow, and he left. And I said, wow, I didn't train for 2 weeks. I'm playing the Champions League final, and I'm playing against Drogba. And I say, I didn't feel really comfortable going on the pitch.
Yeah.
I didn't really believe that I can perform well. And then after first tackle, I won the header. I played a good pass, and after that,
That's to relax.
I started to relax and I enjoyed the game. And I think in the end, I think by UEFA, I was voted as a
Man of the match?
Man of the match. Probably because Drogba got the red card.
If he'd have asked you, would you have said, no, I'm not fit? If he'd have said to you...
I started to tell him that. And he felt what I'm trying to say, and he just left.
Ignored you, yeah?
Ignored me, yeah.
That's good management.
Yeah.
But you're glad he played now,
I
eh?
didn't feel that time that is good management.
No.
But in the end, he was right.
But you had to play it. I mean, I would imagine that would have been his view. You have to play. It's like...
Yeah, I think he thought that against Drogba I can do well, and
Yeah.
I think for him it was important. Even if I get injured, he would take me out, you know, after a few
15 minutes,
15 minutes. Yeah. So I think he wanted me to try and see how it goes. So that's why probably he saved me. You know, in those 2 weeks, he didn't want me to train at all. He just gave me to train on the bike, and he waited that last session to see can I play.
And then go to the year after. We're playing Barcelona. And talk about the first 10, 15 minutes, because I thought we were going to win that game in the first 10, 15 minutes, the way it started. How did that game evolve for you? Because we'd played against Barcelona the previous season, where Messi had been against Patrice, but then Messi changes position and then goes as like a centre-forward, but not a centre-forward, almost in that position.
I think that's the time when Barcelona changed. When Messi went to play as a striker. He's great at picking these pockets between the midfielders and defenders.
Was it a big problem for you in Rio, do you think, in that game?
Yeah, because they will dominate the game, they have time on the ball, and then you have 2 wingers which they're running behind, and normally as a defender, if you pick the wrong moment to go high on the pitch, you open big space for Patrice to defend. Yeah. Or on the other side was, I think, Shazy was it, yeah. Yeah, in Rome, if you speak about Rome. Yeah. So actually, it will be difficult for them. So what we try to do to pick the right moment, but it's difficult when they have control of the game.
But you felt confident,
Yeah, we felt comfortable, especially seeing that Toure and Piqué playing two centre defenders.
and they had injuries with Iniesta.
Puyol was playing right back, and I think the left back was
Silvino.
and
Yeah.
he was 36 at the time.
Yeah,
And we felt like
we got a
we
chance.
can win this. Yeah, we started well. We had two chances,
Yeah,
and then they scored a goal, and obviously that's the different game, especially at the time. They controlled the ball, and it was really difficult to play that game, especially after they scored the goal.
that team then goes on to become one of the greatest teams in history of football, which it
I
obviously
think that was the time when they really had a good season, and I remember that I thought that I think the best way to play against Barcelona was to go deep. I felt, because I thought we can hurt them on counter-attack, especially.
Yeah. We done that the year
heavy,
before.
Yeah, but I think at that time, you remember in the media was talking, who is the greatest team, Man United or Barcelona? And there was the stories going in the media, how Manchester United going to play. Are we going to play defensively, or are we going to play attacking football? You know, because at the time I think everyone was bored looking the games when Barcelona would dominate and everyone was sitting behind. Sir Alex Ferguson, his mentality and what his ideology of his football was always attacking football.
Yeah.
And I think he said, you know, if I look at the players 1 against 1, I think we are a better team. That's how he felt.
Yeah.
He always felt like that.
Yeah.
And I think if we scored a goal, probably it would be a different game, but we
Yeah.
didn't score the goal.
Yeah.
But I felt that if we played deeper a bit, I felt that maybe we can hurt them more.
Yeah. And then that second final against Barcelona, that was more difficult, wasn't it? That was a tough game.
Yeah. Half time was 1-1. And then second half, obviously, they dominated the game and they won. So, to be fair, the both finals, they deserve to win. They're the better team. But I felt still that we could do better, you know, in terms of like, you know, certain things. But credit to them.
What was it like when the boss left? What was that meeting like when he walked in to tell you all that he was leaving?
Shock. To be fair, we know that obviously his age and obviously that issues he has and that he want to spend more time with the family, but it was shock. And to be fair, we didn't think at that time that much what's going to be after when he leave, because he told us, I think, the few weeks before end of the season, in our mind was just to finish on a good note and to win the trophy, because we wanted as well, you know, Sir Alex Ferguson to leave, you know, as a winner.
What was it like for you when David Moyes came in? What was that season like? Obviously, it was a really difficult season where he obviously lost his job in the end.
To be fair, David came to Belgrade to meet me, and obviously we had a conversation, and he told me that I will be his captain, and, you know, he asked me what I think about certain things. I told him, you know, we can have a quite open conversation. But I felt that he was insecure what he's going to do. Is he going to play his football, or is he going to let us play the football we played before? Because it was difficult coming to Man United, having a team which won Premier League, having players that they won so many trophies for the club, and saying now I'm going to play this kind of football. We thought that he's going to be more precise in the ideas he want to have on a pitch. I think he was more like, do whatever you think is right, you know, do what you did before. So that's something I think that maybe we could do better, or maybe I think David could maybe be more, I would say, character at that time and saying, guys, this is the way I'm playing, and I think it will be easier for everyone.
When were you speaking to him when it started to go wrong, when the sort of results started to go difficult?
To be fair, yeah, actually I said, and I was open about it, and probably because I was open about it, he thought that I have something against him, which was not. If I have something against him, I will not tell him anything. No. To be fair, I was open. I want to share what I think, and I wanted to help.
Did he take it that way though?
I'm not sure. You know, it's difficult. You know, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes. You know, someone telling you in front of the players, you know, boss, we can do this and that. Maybe he think I'm challenging his authority. You know, it could be like that. But looking at Sir Alex Ferguson, I think he likes characters. He didn't mind, you know, expressing yourself. You know, I think David, I think he didn't saw that as genius. He saw that like maybe I'm challenging his knowledge, but it was not about that. It was like, you know, I'm trying to take of him what he wants. So when I know what he wants, I can
Yeah.
I can deliver.
What was the moment where you realised you were going to leave?
Then, when I was start talking about it.
You thought that the club were going to let you go?
Yeah, because I think David, understand that we didn't do well in that season, and probably he understands that he has to change certain things. And obviously, he want to have his captain. He want to have his players. If he want to play his way, he has to bring his players, isn't it? He bring Mata, he bring Ferini, and that's normal. To be fair, if I'm the coach, I would do the same.
Yeah.
You have to, if you want to play your way, you have to have your players. And I felt like definitely they would not sign a new contract with me because I had 6 months left to my contract.
Yeah.
And I remember that Wayne Rooney was the same, and they signed with the Wayne first contract. They didn't sign with me, so I understand that he wanted Wayne for the long term.
Yeah.
If I'm captain, probably he will talk to me first, but he didn't. So I realized that that's it, and I accept that. To be fair, I think that David Moyes is a good coach. I think he's a good man as well. I think he tried his best. Maybe he made a few bad decisions, but we all made some bad decisions, and probably now, if he's the manager of Man United, he will do differently, definitely.
The last time Manchester United won the Premier League, you were obviously lifting the trophy. If you just said that they won't win the Premier League for the next 12 years, would you ever have believed that at that time?
Not a chance.
What do you make of what's happened in the last 12 years?
I think my feeling is that Sir Alex Ferguson left, but as well David Gill left. And I think that's two big personalities, the two persons that they've been with the club for 25 years. Difficult to replace. Ed Woodward taking that position, I think, was above his, I would say, knowledge and what he's capable to do. That's my personal opinion, and obviously he did fantastic for the club in terms of the marketing, bringing money to the club. But dealing with agents, dealing with the players, I think that role has to take someone who has experience with that. Even to have some ex-football players around to understand how the players think, how the agent thinks. I think that at the time club didn't help themselves in terms of bringing knowledge of maybe ex-football players, yourself, or Paul Scholes, or Ryan Giggs, or whoever, someone who has experience, talking with this agent. Because I think that sometimes, even with the salaries, with the money we pay for the certain players, we've been cheated. That's my.
Yeah, been played.
Played, maybe cheated.
Yeah,
it's
that's true.
Difficult word.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's I think that's the problem. And I think the recruitment is the biggest thing, whatever you do in your life. Even bringing the good football player, coaching, staff, medical. And I think they should be careful. What kind of people they're bringing in certain places. And to be in United, you have to be one of the best in the market, and you have to invest in that. Maybe even more than in the players, because those players who are going to do the strategic work, who are going to recruit the people, you have to invest in them. And I think we didn't do that well. That's my opinion. It's difficult to be, I think, in United now, and even to be the football player, to be the owner, or whatever you do is difficult. So if you want to change the club, I think the club has to bring the characters. If you don't have a characters in the club, it's difficult. You will go through this situation. If you bring in the people that they're going to be just nice, smiling, and saying things that you want to hear, I don't think that's the way forward. I think you need people that they're going to take responsibility and be strong enough to say the things they see, and even with the consequences. Because, that's what I think.
Vida, do you think that anything else, Ben?
Why guys didn't ask me that I was 2 times Premier League Player of the Year?
Come on. How did you become 2 times Premier League Player of the Year, Nemanja?
Why that? What is the question? How I become?
Were you 2 times Premier League Player of the Year? You weren't Premier League Player of the Year. You didn't win the Player of the Year for the Premier League.
2 times Premier League Player of the Year.
You were in the team.
Premier League Player of the Year.
Do you mean PFA or Premier League?
Do you have the Wikipedia?
Yes.
Yeah. Go to Wikipedia, please.
Oh, this is good.
I thought you're doing your research, man. I thought you were a serious pundit.
But what is the Premier League Player of the Year? Don't even know what that is.
Do you know how many players that won that? Just 5 players 2 times. Thierry Henry, Cristiano Ronaldo, De Bruyne, and Mo Salah. And myself.
The research team's terrible here.
Guys,
The
you see he's blaming. This is not leadership, eh? This is not leadership. Blaming his staff.
Nemanja, honestly, the research department needs improving enormously. Winners, here we go. Here we go.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. Oh, Vidic. You won it in 08-09 and 2010-11. What's the Premier League Player of the Year?
You don't need to worry about it, Gary.
Yeah, I never won that one.
That's why you don't like it.
Nemanja, you know who you're in my Manchester United all-time 11. You know that, don't you?
No.
See, you don't even know that.
Yeah, well done, guys. You see?
Yeah, you and Rio.
Now you have evidence, you know? You know? Why you put me in the best 11? Say that to Carragher. Jamie.
You don't like him, do you?
No, I think he's good. I think he's good, obviously, but...
No, just tell us you don't like him.
But not good enough.
That's a good place to finish.